Today's video is brought to us by Sonoran Desert Institute. If you're like most gun owners who like to repair and upgrade your own firearms, well, why not take that passion and turn it into a career? SDI is a distance learning institute, and all of the materials and tools are shipped directly to your door. They have classes on ballistics, gunsmithing, armorers courses, and even drone classes. You can get your certificate or your degree and take that step now. Check out the link down below and in the pinned comment, sdi.edu. And thank you to the Sonoran Desert Institute for making today's video possible. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. Some of us, when I meet you out and about at events and stuff like that, some of us have had the conversation, and I've thought for a while, specifically in this Biden administration, that they are systemically trying to whittle away at the Second Amendment piece by piece until there's really nothing left other than .22 caliber. And maybe you agree, maybe you disagree, but if you've been following the laws that they've been pitching, some of them have passed. To me, that's what they're after, is to just get rid of everything, let the peons have a .22 to go hunt their Kevlar vested deer. Well, I was just watching last night, because this is what I do when I'm not when I'm not doing anything. On my spare time, I watch debates sometimes. And there was a debate on the 13th, so 2 days ago, on the active shooter alert system. And it caught my eye because this bill had already been defeated the 22nd of June, which was the day before we got the New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruin decision. And it's back for debate, which caught my eye, which is why I watched it. So this bill, basically, it's looking to establish an Amber Alert system for shootings. So think of that. Your phone would go off anytime there's a shooting in order to scare people and say, look how many times your phone goes off, Mr. and Mrs. American. We need to ban these scary black rifles, because that's what they're after. You heard Biden say it in the White House just 3 days ago, that he wants to ban assault weapons again and high-capacity magazines, and he won't stop until he does it. So during this debate, Thomas Massie got up, and Thomas Massie is the chair of the Second Amendment Caucus, and he said basically what I was thinking, and I want you to see what he said in his own words, and then we'll be right back.
I thank the gentleman from Ohio. Before I talk about the substance of this bill, or the lack thereof, I'd like to put it in the context of the other dozen or so unserious, unconstitutional, unnecessary, and unsafe responses to gun shootings in this country that the Democrats have offered and passed in this chamber. What have they done? Well, they passed a law to ban magazines with a capacity of more than 15 rounds. And the chairman of the Rules Committee claimed that this would stop shootings like the one at Virginia Tech. What he failed to mention is the shooter at Virginia Tech never used a magazine that had more than 15 rounds. That's an example of an unserious solution that's come from this body. What else have they done? They've changed the definition of a gun dealer, so that any law-abiding individual who sells a firearm to anybody and makes a profit of it now might be a gun dealer and therefore prosecutable in a federal crime. What else have they done that's unserious or unconstitutional? Well, they've passed a law to ban gun trafficking. The problem is that's already illegal. But who did they sweep up in this dragnet, in this new law? Well, they swept up domestic violence victims who might ask a neighbor for a firearm. Now they can be prosecuted. Not the neighbor who gives, not the Good Samaritan, not just the Good Samaritan, but also the domestic violence victim can be prosecuted as a gun trafficker under a bill that they passed here. Recognizing this flaw, I offered an amendment to fix it in the Judiciary Committee. Every Democrat but one of them had a little bit of common sense, voted against that amendment to fix their own bill. What else have they done? Well, they passed a bill that I'm going to call unconstitutional on arrival. It's already been ruled unconstitutional if you read the D.C. versus Heller decision. The Supreme Court justices said, you can't force Mr. Dick Heller to keep his gun unloaded and disassembled in his house, because that violates the Second Amendment. But that's exactly what one of their laws that came through this chamber in just the past couple months does. It's called the so-called Safe Storage Act. It's already unconstitutional. But who likes this bill more than anybody? Home invaders. Oh my gosh, wouldn't it be great to know that by federal law, everybody who's got a firearm now has to have it locked up and unattainable, inaccessible in the amount of time that would take to respond to a home invader. What else have they done? A red flag bill that deprives citizens of their due process and endangers police officers. Police officers who are going to be required to respond in pre-dawn raids of people who haven't had due process, never had their day in court, haven't even reached a level of evidence that's sufficient. The red flag bill is bad. What else have they done? They passed a bill to deprive 18, 19, and 20-year-olds from purchasing semi-automatic rifles and semi-automatic shotguns. Now, they're already deprived of their constitutional right to buy a handgun, but now we're just going to sweep in all of these things. But are they going to then raise the draft age to 21? Now that we're saying, Uncle Sam will give you a gun, Uncle Sam can conscript you to the military, send you overseas to fight for a constitution that doesn't even protect you or your wife who is at home taking care of the kids if you're 18, 19, or 20 years old. They don't care. They don't care. This one is also unconstitutional on arrival. The Ninth Circuit, one of the most liberal circuits in the country, has already ruled that. And why is this so disturbing? We heard earlier today from one of my colleagues in this debate that she wants to ban assault weapons. Well, the House Democrat Twitter account tweeted that all semi-automatic rifles are weapons of war. Really? There are a lot of people in Kentucky who own Remington 750 deer rifles who are going to be shocked to find out that they purchased a weapon of war. If you saw one of these, I think you would all agree this is not a weapon of war, but it's an alarm to every American who's out there watching this debate that they are coming after your guns. Now let's get to the substance of this bill, or the lack thereof. Why are we here debating this bill? This is the second time we voted on it, the second time we debated it. Why are we here again? Because they tried to suspend the rules of this body and get it through without following the rules of this House. And they failed. So that's why we're here again, to give it the debate it deserves. So the bill is called the Active Shooter Alert Act of 2022. In the Democrat cities where they've defunded the police, I think you should call it the You're on Your Own Act of 2022. Yeah, that's right. We're going to tell you.
Has expired.
Yield the gentleman additional minute.
Thank you.
Gentleman is recognized for an additional minute.
They're going to tell you you're on your own. But can you turn this thing off in Chicago? How will you get any sleep? Because you got a shooting literally every night in Chicago. If they were serious about stopping crime or helping individuals, this would be called the Active Violence Alert Act. What about violence committed with the car? Violence committed with the knife? No concern for that, because the true purpose of this bill passing here today is to scare people. It's to scare people on their phones. They can't get away from their phones. It's going to be popping up saying, be afraid somebody's got a gun. And they are going to try and condition the American public to ask to repeal the Second Amendment, either explicitly or implicitly here in this chamber. And I urge opposition to this bill, and I yield back.
So just like I said, Thomas Massie basically said what I was thinking, I've been saying. What do you think? If you're thinking the same thing, do you agree or disagree with me that this is what the Democrats are trying to do? And now it's nice to see that people who are in the Congress actually have caught on. I know Massey's been saying this stuff similar for a while, and so has Jim Jordan. But it's good to see people starting to talk about it so that it can get on the radar and shine some light on these evil bastards. Just a video to make you think today. What do you think about this? Let me know down below. I'd love to read some of your comments. And thank you so much to everybody who went over and checked out Freedom Garage. The first two videos are up there. Check it out. A link will be down below if you want to check it out. It's what I've been doing in my spare time for a while, and that's play with really fast cars. And for those who have asked, it's not just about the first vehicle that's on there. It's going to be about all kinds of horsepower cars, gas too. So that's a little spoiler if you haven't been over there. Thank you guys so much for your support. It means the world to me. I only do this because of y'all. You guys and gals are the best audience on YouTube. You are dialed in, and you do what you need to do with the information. So let me know what you think about this one down below. Until we see each other again, be safe, stay vigilant, and carry a gun to keep you, your friends, your family, your community safe. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Join this growing freedom family. We're shining light on all those dirty bastards in the swamp, and we'll continue to do it with your help. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.